phone last week. Well, I think I got it right the same day that I did my last one, my last live, and still working on things. Hi, Noelle. All right, we're up and going on YouTube and we're up and going on Facebook. As always, I'm trying to be on both. So if for some reason one of them gets a little glitchy, join us on the other, on the Little Yarn Shop Facebook page. Holly just made it back in time from Ann Arbor. Yay. Holly got me some goodies while she was in Ann Arbor. I'm so excited. Sherry working at a baby blanket. Nicole, Cindy, Joyce making socks. Cool. Shar working on baby Afghans. Excellent. Okay, so I'm running a little bit behind, so I apologize about that. So we will go ahead and get started. Hi, Mama. I feel like I'm out of practice with this, guys. I just need to get back into a routine. It'll happen. Someday. So, hi, Linda. Welcome to Monday Motivation. Hi, Aunt Jackie. Today is September 18th, 2023. My name is Kristen. I am the owner of the Little Yarn Shop located in downtown Saginaw, Michigan, inside the SBRC Marketplace. Marketplace hours are Wednesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. I'm going to get back in the habit of going live every Monday at 7. Melissa's so funny. Marianne starting the sleeves on the Alpine Bloom. Excellent. So this past weekend, the farmers market area was packed with all kinds of stuff. Last Monday, they did have a night market. That was one of the reasons I skipped doing the live last week, besides the fact that it was just a crazy day. Hi, Lisa. But they had the night market on Monday, and then the Keonda Hispanic Festival was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday afternoons. They had live music, they had vendors outside. For those of you who ventured in while all of that was happening, I appreciate you guys being willing to, you didn't really have to fight your way through, but parking was a little interesting. And so I appreciate you guys coming in despite the chaos going on. Linda says, hi, Ruth is working on the last sleeve of her weekender light. Excellent. Hi, Oriana. So I think things at the marketplace are going to be calming down a little bit. The farmers market, Fridays, I'm sure I've said this before, but Fridays are definitely the best days if you are coming here and want to partake in the outdoor farmers market. Fridays are the best days. It seems to be the day when a lot of the farmers have available to be here versus, you know, Hemlock has a market, Midland has a market, Bay City has a market, Frankenmuth has a market. So Fridays just seem to be a really good day for us to get a good crowd of vendors outside them here. I like wandering through. It's squash season and peppers and tomatoes and good stuff. I like that stuff. I don't like the fact that that means fall's coming, but what are you going to do? Hi, Jill. Okay, so let's talk about knitting stuff. I have hardly done any knitting since the last time I talked to you all. I did absolutely nothing on my Cozy Mick blanket, but I will hold it up and show just in case you didn't watch the last one. A little wrinkled, but here's the pattern by Lyrical Knits, Cozy Mick blanket. And I just printed off a couple of the pages so it can kind of show how it's definitely long in the back, but it fans a little longer in the front. It's meant to be worn open, or you can crisscross the tops. And it does have sleeves. This one looks kind of like it's just a vest, but it does have sleeves. So I'm using the rainbow kit. I ran out of yarn while I was doing my Kitchener stitch on the back. So here's what I have. Still the same place. The colors, oh man, at least on my computer, the colors look so much more vibrant on the Facebook feed than they do on the YouTube feed. This violet is really just a vibrant violet. I decided, because obviously the reds were going to meet in the middle and it would have been twice as wide, I wanted to do a little divider there. I have tried to go back through. This is a lot of stitches to Kitchener to graft, and this looks like I messed something up, and that's going to bug me. Oh, that's where there were short rows. Can't do anything about that. So my tension is kind of loose and kind of tight, and you can see that a little bit. So I have been trying to go back through and kind of even it out a little bit. Would it be easier to 3 needle bind off? It would. That's the short answer. It would be easier to do a 3 needle bind off, but I didn't really want that seam down the back, especially with it supposed to be just like flat across the bottom. I feel like if you did a 3 needle bind off, it might, because it provides a little bit more structure there, it might pull it kind of funky. She does have you pick up along the bottom for this little ledge there, little border. So that would maybe even things out. But you know, this is one of the projects where I just am going my own direction with it. I guess I can only do so many patterns in a row where I'm actually like following what the instructions say. What fun would that be? So, no progress on that, but I still am very happy with it. And pretty soon I will be on Sleeve Island, just knitting sleeves for days, which will be good in terms of having something that I can just knit on while I'm chatting with you guys or watching TV or whatever. Because my other project that I am sort of actively working on is my Hito Fude cardigan. So a lot of people are familiar with the pattern. A lot of people don't know that's how you pronounce it. Hito Fude. And here's what it looks like on the back. So last time I showed it to you all, I had just picked up for the ribbing that goes around the neck and around the back. I am a little bit further than that. And follow the leader. Yeah, I don't like to follow the leader. I'm a rule follower. So the yarn that I'm using comes like this, the Wonderland Blossoms. So it's a fingering weight, 85% superwash merino, 15% nylon. These cakes have pretty ample yardage. They have 475 yards and 4 ounces. And they're dyed in a gradient. Somebody asked me the other day why it looks all squiggly when it's in the cake or when I'm knitting with it, because now you can see it looks super squiggly. The reason is, I think this is my theory and what I know from how a lot of the gradients are, they are dyed as a sock blank. So the dyer either makes or orders from the yarn manufacturer the yarn to come in basically what looks like a white scarf. And they can dye that because it's all knitted up. And then once it's dyed and dried, they wind it into a ball so you can see the color progression that way. So it takes 2 of those. I'm alternating every 2 rows for the most part. I am having a little bit of a hard time remembering to alternate every 2 rows. So I'm hoping when I forget, I'm forgetting on alternate skeins. So at least I'm not like overusing one of the skeins of yarn. I could probably weigh them to figure it out a little bit. Uh-oh. Are you having problems with sound? Okay, Melissa says I'm good. All right. Maybe it's just mom's sound. So last time I was doing this little bit of ribbing that goes all the way around. And I like the fact, okay, good. I like the fact that using the gradient shows you the progression on the direction of the knitting. So with both cakes, I started with the light color in the middle, and then I'm working my way out. So you can see light gets darker and darker as I knit. Hi, Teresa. So this little border part is where I was last time, and had done the 3 needle bind off on the sleeves. So it's a little bit easier to see now that this up here is the collar. So you're looking at the back of the sweater right now. So this is the collar. This would be going down my back. And then this is the lace that will extend beyond. I was looking all over for my pearl strings and I cannot find them. And we are out again. I swear, I just keep ordering them and they just keep disappearing. It would be a little bit easier to show you, but so the lace goes kind of around the front. That's what that little flap that comes out. And then around the back. So you can see that it's getting a little bit darker, and it will end with this darker gray color. Teresa, I know you need pearl strings. So I'm really happy with how it looks. I have, like I said, I could weigh them and see, and it does look like I have used one a bit more than the other in terms of coloring. This one still has a lot more blue in it than this one does, but it'll work itself out. I think once I get to this darker part, you're not going to see as much change. Like it looks like there's a pretty big section that's just all the same dark color, but it will still be beautiful. So that is what I'm working on. The lace is a very easy to, well, for me, easy to memorize and easy to keep track of. So the chart for the lace is 12 stitches, and it's an 8-row repeat. So you could easily put stitch markers in between every lace repeat because they go straight up and down. The lace doesn't travel. So you stay within those 12 stitches every time. I like to live dangerously, and I don't like to use stitch markers in between each time, but I'm a pretty visual knitter, so it's easier for me just to make sure the 2 purl stitches in the middle are where they're supposed to be every time. So yeah, I'm making a little bit of progress on that. I was thinking I wanted to start a new project, but I know the Stephen West Knit Along is coming up in a couple weeks. I'm staring at my yarn that I picked for that right now. So that will be the next project. Oh, for those of you who are interested in making the Hito Fude with the blossom cakes, the 2 colors that we have enough of in stock are the gold to kind of a blue gray. Well, it's not really gold. It's pretty bright yellow. And then same color that I'm using, the white to more of a gray. You can see there's a little bit of a difference. They are $40 each if you, let me look at sizing. So you need anywhere from 730 to 1530 yards. So you would need anywhere from 2 to 4. If you ended up needing more than 2, you could definitely still do the same method that I am. There have been plenty of times where I've needed, I've known a project is going to take 3 skeins of yarn, or I have skeins that are hand dyed that have a lot of variation. I have alternated 3 at a time. But you could also just knit through them consecutively, light to dark, dark to light. Either way, I think it would look really cool. Or do it in a solid. That's kind of, it's designed to just be, it would be beautiful in any of the gazillion stains that we have behind me. So I did mention the Stephen West mystery knit along geo gradient. We have been very actively helping people pick out their gradient colors. It takes 4 skeins, which is fairly small for him, but I'm sure it's still going to be plenty big and as in terms of the size of the shawl. Interesting. The construction seems like in my mind, in my head and the way he's talking about it, I imagine it's going to be a modular build, but we'll see. I decided, maybe I talked about this last time, but I don't remember. Karen mentioned to me that the last 2 years I have used our custom color from Dreaming Color in my Stephen West shawls. So she kind of challenged me to do that again this year. And this year's is a little bit more variegated, but between looking at it in the skein and looking at it in the top that I knit, I think it works well as close to a solid enough. So I'm going a little bit out of my normal realm of things here, but many of you, this is right up your alley. So I'm doing all purples this time. So starting with, well, it's kind of a very pale blue gray, then our Saginaw Standard custom from Smushy, from Dreaming Color, then kind of a, I'm not very good with purple names, a medium purple and a dark purple. I'm very excited. I think it's going to be gorgeous. And I'm anxious to see how he is knitting it up. But you can see that there are a few holes in the wall back here. And I started kind of trying to move things around a little bit to cover them up, but we still have plenty of choices. I think I do have enough of the solid purples that if you're interested, I can put together a set of these for you. Just throw in the comments and let us know if that's something you're interested in. I might be able to come up with more than one, but we'll see. I know for sure I have at least one more quantity of that. So that would be, well, the solids are $12.50 and the Smushy with Cashmere is $35. So I can't do quick math. Around $90. Math, who needs it? So that's the upcoming project. I'm going to resist starting anything else new because that is coming up. So maybe if I get bored with these 2 projects, I will pick up another work in progress. I have a few of those around too. So let's see, what else should I talk about? Oh, what I'm wearing. I'm wearing a couple different things because it's chilly in here. As always, this is my go-to throw on sweater, my Augusta cardigan. Again, this is one that I ventured off the main path a little bit. It's written as a solid one color for the whole sweater, but I probably will end up making another one of these because I live in this thing here and then I take it home and I live in it at home. And so I need another one. So I have one both places. So the Augusta cardigan is this really cool modular construction. So you start with, and what prompted the 2 colors on this is when I first started getting yarn from Ridiculous, she had this color called Sweater Weather that I absolutely fell in love with. And I wanted, so when I put the order in for the shop, I also put an order in for a sweater's quantity of this sweater weather color in worsted for myself. It took me a while to figure out what I could do where the pattern wouldn't get hidden. So this was the kind of compromise. So you start with the center cabled panel. You knit that strip, then you pick up and knit down across the back on one and to a sleeve. Pick up and knit the other way, the back, the front, and the sleeve. Then what's next? Then you pick up along the bottom and do a big bottom border for big bottom people. And then you do this really big, the last thing you do is pick up and knit this really big cozy collar all the way around. It is just, it's cozy. Anybody else who's made it, I know Christina's working on hers right now. Joyce has made one. Ruth. It's fun. It is a fun knit. And because of the modular construction, you don't have to sew anything together. Most of it is done flat until you get to the little bit of tube for the arm, and then it's some ribbing, but it's not bad. So the other thing I'm wearing is one of the new fall yarns from Barocco. They sent us this cute little cowl, and it is called, look in the book, starts with a T. Tiana. So one of the new fall yarns from Barocco is called Carousel. And it comes in, need longer arms, you guys. It comes in a pole skein like this. It is 52% wool, 48% acrylic. It is a sport weight yarn. Why am I not seeing? Right there. Again, it's similar to Remix Light in the terms of being a sport weight yarn with really good yardage. So 418 yards in one of these. One cake is all it takes to make this cowl. And it does the fun color changing thing on its own. The little slip stitches kind of highlight the fact that the color change is happening. It looks like, I haven't actually read the pattern, and they sent this to me as a sample, so I did not make this. It looks like you start here at the little point down at the bottom and work your way up. Then when it's wide enough, it can go around your neck. You join it to knit it in the round. So we have 6 of the colors of Carousel here. They are $19 each. And the pattern book has all kinds of cool patterns. So this Tiana takes one hank skein. Oh, look at that. That's pretty much what I said. Ah. Watch out, you're gonna think I know what I'm talking about. So there are 8 colors. We have 6 of them in stock. So if you knit them, the only thing I'm not ever sure about is when they give you these little pictures, I don't know how big that swatch is. So if that's what it's going to look like in a larger piece, the way to tell though would be to look at something like, well, what's on the cover, this beautiful jacket. Can you see that? This might be too shiny. Let's get an inside one. It has entrelac on the front of it. And a few of these that are in here, there's this gorgeous crocheted shawl that's like, I don't know if granny triangles are a thing or granny hexagons. It looks like it's kind of a modular thing too, but there are a few patterns in here where they've held the Carousel with Ariel, which is their mohair silk blend. So this jacket, Archaeos, is knit holding the two together. And look at the detail on the back of it too. It's got this little panel that goes one direction and then the sides go a different direction. They have a really cute textured pullover sweater called Avalon. Again, it's carousel and Ariel held together. Raglan, a little bit of a puffy sleeve, which apparently it's coming back in style. And it looks like just a combination of knits and pearls. So some of you, I know that's not your favorite thing, but it does give a really cool texture. They have a scarf called Gotti that takes okay. 2 balls of the same color. And you get this, looks like a little bit back and forth between garter and some simple, almost like a feather and fan lace, but a little bit different. So you do get to see a little bit, it's a little bit stripy, but not kind of like in your face stripes. And that is, that's 2 balls of the same yarn. It's not 2 alternated. Alternated? Yeah. Barocco seems to do a lot of sweater constructions where there's a panel down the front that is horizontal and then they do the sides vertically. This is the same way. This is so adorable. I really like this one. It's called Feki, F-E-K-I. But it's just a really cute pullover sweater. It's got some lace detail up at the top. It's got some lace detail at the cuff. And this is just carousel by itself. So there you can see the construction a little bit. Part going horizontal, part going vertical. It's pretty neat. And then that is what I was wearing. Look at that. Different color. So knit up, you can see that they have different features to them. They definitely, Barocco is going pretty red and blue on this batch. I tried to have a conversation with them about how they need more purple. And I think we've talked about that before. Melissa, very inclusive. Let's see, the Avalon goes up to a 68. The Feki goes up to a, why doesn't it just tell me the whole thing? Back and front width 36, so that would be a 72. So yeah, we appreciate that too. So the colors we have, this guy is, I wish they would give it names, but they don't. 4426. It's kind of an orangey red, some greens and some blues. Whereas 4438 is more blue heavy with some oranges and greens. It's kind of a, you could kind of do your own fade with something like this, because then 4428 is more blues and golds with a little bit of green and orange. Then which way do we want to go? 4441 is fun with pretty teals, golds, raspberry colors. I think this is one of my favorites. It's kind of it's warmer colors versus cooler colors, I guess. This is probably as close to the purple as the purple girls get. Well, these last two are. Neither one of them is really purple. This 4447 is really pretty too. Some brighter blues, pinky purples, greens. And 4420 is beachy. It's interesting how this one is so different from the rest of them. Oh, look, Melissa's giving me names. this one with the kind of the turquoisey, tealy blues and browns and golds. It has like a little bit of a shine to it too, which is cool. I don't know, you guys, maybe we talked about this yarn already. I can't remember. I feel like maybe we did a little bit, but I might not have had the books. So we've got the pattern books. The pattern books are $16. The individual patterns can be purchased on Ravelry for $8 a piece. So obviously, if there are at least 2 patterns you like in this book, it makes more sense to buy the whole pattern book versus individual patterns. So we've got those. You guys, I cannot keep this cross wrap hidden. I'm sorry. New things and things coming up. So we do have some classes coming up. We'll talk about those in a minute. I've got new yarn that's here, and I've got pre-orders for needle sets. So we'll talk about those things a little bit. The needle set pre-order, Knitter's Pride does once or twice a year, they do little gift sets. So this next gift set that's coming up for knitting needles is called Sweet Affair. And it's a combination of interchangeables and double points. And you guys, Knitter's Pride has kind of like a sister company now that dyes yarn. So this little kit includes the yarn, 1 full skein, and then 3 little partial skeins. 100 grams of the 1 color and 25 grams of the 3 coordinating colors. So you get 2 little bags. You get this little shoulder strap bag, a little notions bag, the yarn, interchangeable tips, double points. So what do they say? Unveil a world of knitting possibilities with the Sweet Affair gift set. Let your creativity intertwine with comfort, elegance, and joy, creating cherished moments as you weave your yarn into masterpieces. I did not write this, you guys. Indulge in the sweetness of knitting perfection. It's an affair to remember. So the set includes 5 sets of 6-inch aluminum double point needles. It's funny, it says tastefully tinted tips, but it's actually the body of the needle that's tinted, not the tips. But we know what they mean. So they're going to be very similar to, this is the first time I've actually seen it in print that they are aluminum. So they will be similar to the zings. I don't know if the tips will be the same in terms of how sharp or blunt they are. I don't have them in person to be able to see. So double pointed needles in sizes US 1.5, 2, 2.5, 4, and 6. 5 sets of 5-inch interchangeable needles, which would be the longer if you're used to the longer or the shorter. The 5-inch ones are the longer tips. In US sizes 2.5, 4, 5, 6, and 7. 2 swivel cords, 4 little end caps and cable keys and connectors. And then you get the Symphony hand-dyed yarns, 75% merino, 25% nylon, in their summer romance color, and then the 3 coordinates. So we are taking pre-orders. I have had quite a few people pre-order, so I have checked with my Notions distributor to see if they have a cap on how many shops are allowed to order. At this time, they don't. So I just keep calling and adding to them, but that could change at any time. And every time I'm calling and adding to my order, part of that is going to be in a different, what do I want to say? Like in a different position in the queue. So I may not get all of them at once. So we are taking pre-orders now. Melissa posted the link to them on the website. It's $132 for the set. We are saying that we will have them here to either pick up or ship out by October 31st. So they would be a great holiday gift for somebody to get for you, or for you to get for yourself, or for you to get for somebody else, another knitter in your life. It's a fun little set. So those are pre-orders happening now. I will continue to take pre-orders until they tell me I can't add any more sets. Class is coming up. Many of you are familiar with belated birthday gift shopper. Yes. Many of you are familiar with or have heard us talk about Deb's, what we used to call beginning knitting, but it's not really beginning knitting. So it's called Knitting Basics and Beyond, and it's a 6-week class. Let me grab the scarf. Using a pattern that Deb designed that goes through some very basics like the knit stitch, the purl stitch, but she starts right from the beginning with how to recognize if your stitch is oriented correctly, how to fix a problem if you knit instead of purl, or if you dropped a stitch, or if you twisted a stitch. Her class is about so much more than learning how to knit. So much that we have quite a few people, I would say probably half of each class that she has are people that already know how to knit and purl, but want to get more confidence. So this is the project they do. So they learn pattern reading, seed stitch, lace, a little bit of, I don't know, variation between what they're doing, cables. And some people get partway through this project and decide they don't necessarily want to finish this thing. They want to go on to something else. That's perfectly fine. They want to work on this. Courtney, I think, made 3 or 4 of these scarves. I think she extended the middle part a little bit so it was longer, because it's not a super long scarf. It's designed to not take you forever to make. But her next session is starting October 25th. It's a 6-week class. They meet Wednesday evenings from 6:30 to 8:30 here in the shop. And we keep it anywhere from 2 to 6 people, depending on who signs up. So something to think about. If you are local and you would like to kind of take your knitting up a notch, or maybe just gain a little bit of confidence and get more comfortable with your knitting. The other thing that we are starting up now is a crochet basics and beyond class. So Nicole has taught some crochet classes for us, and she kind of took Deb's idea and ran with it and has created her own version of a basics and beyond scarf for class. So the crochet basics and beyond class will also be a 6-week class. Starts October 14th. The crochet one is on Saturdays because some people have to have regular jobs and stuff. But it does tend to work out better for some people to be able to take a Saturday class. So Saturdays 10:30 to 12:30 here in the shop. And whether you've handled a hook before or not, this class is beneficial depending on your level of comfort. There are different parts of the pattern that you may find you have a harder time with or might slow you down a little bit. So there are some fun different stitch patterns in here. Oh, that's fun. You can see it when I hold it up. And granny squares and flowers. So really cool stuff. I'm glad to be able to have it on the calendar as a formal class, because she has been doing, like I said, a few here and there. But if you're interested, sign up. We're keeping participants for this one somewhere between 4 and 6. So it would be a really fun thing. They both end up taking a little bit more than 1 skein of a worsted weight yarn. So the fun part with this one is you can do it all 1 color, or you can do 2 different colors. I like the fact that she's done 2 colors because you can kind of see this little edging is done after the fact. Then you don't have to decide on whether you're doing 1 color or 2 colors right away. You just start with grabbing 1 skein. So those are coming up. Joyce is getting back into teaching, and we are going to be putting on the books a 2 at a time toe up magic loop sock class. So knitting socks from the toe up using a magic loop method and doing 2 at the same time on the same needle. So it's a lot of different methods. It's a lot of different techniques that you learn over the course of her class. So we don't have that one on the books yesterday. If that's something you are interested in, let us know. I'm thinking a Thursday afternoon class, but I'm not sure on that. So if it's something you're interested in, let us know what would work for you in terms of a class schedule, that sort of thing. Just curious to see if we can fit it where people need it the most. So that will be coming up soon. Many of you might have seen that last week I posted photos of some of the new Malabrigo colors, the Zodiac collection. So they have released all 12. I only have 7 of them, but hopefully the rest are on their way. They gave us this fun little display. You're supposed to be able to scan this little QR code and you know your big 3, your sun, your moon, and your rising signs. We were playing around with it a little bit and it gave way more information than I knew what to do with. So that kind of went by the wayside. But the colors that I do have, I needed to show you guys because you can't just look at them in a picture. These are in no particular order because I don't know I guess I could look at this and it could tell me that order, but let's go. I don't know. We'll just go in whatever order I feel like. So this one is, and they are all on Rios. So 210 yards and 100 grams, 100% superwash merino, worsted weight. So this is Cancer. This one looks a little bit similar to some of the batches of Fog that we've gotten. So like if you look at the collar on this sweater, there's a little bit, this color here is sort of similar to that. This one's got definitely more purples in it. Would have been really cool with that. So this is Cancer. And they are $16.99 a skein. This one is, I feel like Malabrigo has been needing a yarn in this color, this green Taurus. It's like almost like camo colors, but in a really cool way. This yellowy green. A lot of their greens are in the really bright. They have Ivy, which is still kind of that's the one that I used in the Christmas colors of the Killer Queen cowl. So this one is a lot richer. Would be a great sweater. Guys, men's or women's sweater. Libra. Of course, those of you who know Karen know that she fell in love with this one. All these tones of like burgundies and reds. It's just gorgeous. Oh, where should we go next? Bright Gemini. This, I don't think they've had a yarn that's this color, at least not in Rios. They may have had something similar in Arroyo at one point, but it's just this vibrant pink and orange. It's like, I don't know. It's not like flames because it's more vibrant than that. Just a really cool. I like the way they've layered the colors on there. So you really get just a lot of character in the yarn. Somebody said we do feel like we're going a little back to the 80s, but I love it. I'm all right with it. This one is Leo. And it's this electric blue with these purple. If you could have a neon purple, I think that's what that would be, like a neon purple in there. they're really cool because they're like tonals. I wouldn't call them variegated. I guess I would call them tonals because you could still get away with using one in a sweater or a scarf or really any pattern that has a lot of pattern detail, cables or anything like that. It still would show because it's solid enough. So that one, I think that's beautiful. Virgo, this one's me. This is a very muted, kind of like a paint spattery, pale pinks, pale greens, this kind of tealy speckles, kind of a little bit of a pale yellow in there. Just very, very subtle. And Pisces is purple and blue and pink and speckles of gold, which is just, it's different. I'm going to open this one up just because I feel like there's so much going on with this one. This one I would call probably the most variegated of all of them. You can see there are some bright pink spots in there. There's some blues, purples, and as a reminder, because it is Malabrigo, every skein is going to be a little bit different. You never know, even within the same bag, they are going to be, I know it does, it seems like watercolor. Yeah, they're just beautiful. So if you're doing big projects, alternate skeins. So those are the ones I have. The other ones I have on order, but I'm told that these I ordered back in whenever we were in Chicago, June, July. I don't remember when that was. When we were in Chicago, I ordered these. So they took a while to get in and they apparently oversold. So I'm not sure when I'm getting the rest of the colors, but rest assured, as soon as I can, they will be here. So that's new yarn for the shop. I think that's probably enough for today. Maybe next week I will go over Talara, which is another new Barocco yarn. And I did get the box to do yarn tastings, fall yarn tastings. I know I'm kind of a little bit late on that, but if that's something that you're still interested in, I have, I don't know if it's 12 or 15 kits. But let me know if that's something you're interested in. We had a lot of fun with the yarn tasting last time. They send prizes for me to give away, and it's a great way to check out the new yarns. My hope this time is that I'll have little swatches made up so you can kind of touch and feel, because in the yarn tasting class, you obviously can't get through all of the yarns. So let me know in the comments if that's something that you're interested in. I would love to hear. Okay. I think I probably chatted. I don't know when they are yet, Mom. That's why I haven't scheduled it. Oh, good, Lisa. I know you did it last time. We had fun with it. So I don't know when they're going to be scheduled. I have not scheduled them yet. Yes, the storybook yarn is in. Holly's mentioning that the Wonderland storybook yarns are here. It's beautiful. I've got them tucked behind the counter because I haven't gotten around to like tell people about them yet. But if you are on the list to pre-order, I've got them tucked behind the counter. They're beautiful this month. It's gorgeous yarn. Oh, good. I'm glad people are interested in doing the yarn tasting. I'll try and be a little bit more organized with it this time. Last time was my first one, so I'm learning as I go. Flying by the seat of my pants sometimes. Okay, so I think that's it. I hope everybody has a good week. My goal is really to get back into a routine of being with you all every Monday because I miss chatting with everybody. So that is it for this week. I hope everybody has a great week. The weather looks like it's going to be decent for the next few days anyway. I'll take it as long as possible. If I don't see you in the shop in the next few days, I will see you all on here next Monday at 7. Okay. Everybody have a good night.